Everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats, show where we talk about sports with comedians. So let's get some comics up in here. First one in the building is Maurice Smith. Mo, how you doing, bro? How's everything?
I'm good. Hey, Frank, how much brown and beige stuff do you own?
I have as much stuff as you ask me. I don't know. I like the color. And I'm a Sigma too, which is terrible. My man, filmmaker Jason Hayes is in the building. How you doing, sir? How's everything, bro?
All good. What up, Mo?
What up, Jay?
So while we wait for other comics to jump in here, man, I think we should get the show started because we got a lot to cover. And guys come in late and then they jump in on the conversation, which is cool because it keeps us, abreast. So, and because Mo was trying to crack on me yesterday, I'm not gonna go first. Okay.
What do you mean I was trying to crack on you? Everybody took a shot at that one. That was hanging fruit.
I will not go first. I will just not go first. So that way everybody can say, I'm being fair because everybody, you take the good ones, you take the good ones. So how about we start where we left off yesterday? You were talking about the most egregious blunders or turnovers in sports history. What my point of this question is which turnover was so bad, that you thought that was like, this was absolutely horrible and it just changed the dynamic of the game or whatever along the lines of that. So Mo, you the comic in the building. I'm gonna let you go first. And
Okay.
you can tell me what yours are because I hope I have something that's different than yours, but we'll see.
I think you might have one or two of mine. My number 5, Eric Sleepy Floyd, 1982 NCAA championship versus North Carolina. I'll never forget that. I was a big Georgetown fan and North Carolina, but more Georgetown. And when he just handed the ball to Worthy, like, you want to win?
Who did?
Huh?
Who did you say did that?
Eric Sleepy Floyd.
No, it was Fred Brown. We gotta keep going.
Oh, my bad. All right. Eric Sleepy Fred Brown slew Floyd.
He was on the court.
He was on the court. He was in the game. He was in the game. All right, next one. Russell Wilson, Super Bowl 49. The game was won. It was all but one. Why did he call an audible? Even though the coach called the wrong call, he could have changed it at the last minute. I know somebody in the huddle said, "You sure we shouldn't run this?"
Okay, go on.
Welcome, drop pass, Super Bowl 2012. I threw that in with for you, Frank. Remember that one?
No,
remember that one?
No, I don't. Keep going.
Yeah, whatever. Wes Welker, drop the ball. Who wins the New York Giants, dog? Chris Webber calling timeout NCAA's 1993. Like, this dude, everybody saw him as what he became, one of the best power forwards ever to play the game. And he calls a timeout when he ain't got nothing left. It's like a drug addict going in his pocket knowing he ain't got no more money, but he hope he found the $20 or something. And my best one, Frank, this is for you, baby. 1986 World Series, Red Sox. Bill Buckner versus the New York Mets, man. You remember that one, Frank?
No, I don't. No.
I wouldn't want to remember it either.
But I just want you to know that Lotus High Boston is involved in a lot of this sports stuff because we are what? Boston is Sports Town, USA, baby.
That's God, here he go.
I'm gonna just throw that out there. Jason, you got next, bro. What are your most egregious blunders in sports?
Well, for me, most recently what comes to mind, Mark Andrews against the Buffalo Bills. 2-point conversion.
Oh, yeah.
Wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Hit him in the hands. We go into overtime. They got the momentum. They're probably going to win the game. And you can't get more open than he was, and you can't put the ball better in his hands. So now I'm going with blunders. A blunder for me is every NFL team passing on Lamar Jackson.
Including the New England Patriots. Keep going.
Everybody. And they took Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and, Josh Allen's justifiable. But to take Baker and all those dudes, man, that dude was the last pick, the 32nd pick in the first round. Egregious.
Mm-hmm.
Another egregious thing that took place. Barry Bonds, I've been in the Hall of Fame. I will beat this drum until the skin breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is 2-in-1. The biggest blunder I've ever seen in professional sports in terms of hiring was Jacksonville Jaguars hiring Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was not ready for the thing. I mean, he set Trevor Lawrence back probably 3 years, just from that first rookie season being with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it's 2-for-1. He was so bad. The hire was so bad, he fumbled the bag.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 5-year contract that paid him $10 to $12 million per. And even if they fired him, they still would have had to pay him. But he was so terrible, he got fired with cause.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to pay him the other $40 million that they owed him. Biggest blunder of a bag I've ever seen by any coach ever.
I like your list, Jay. I like your list. And I like that a lot of it had nothing to do with New England, or Boston.
Yeah.
Put it out there. Just throwing it out there. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. Throw it out there. Just felt.
I do enough of that.
Yeah, thank you. You do. My man Kev Lane is in the building. Kev, give me your most egregious blunders in sports or turnovers in sports history, any sport, any league.
I think this gentleman's name was mentioned before, and it's going to be mentioned again. Leon Lett.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't have touched the ball. But there was a blocked field goal. He touched it. Miami recovered, ended up kicking the field goal for the win. Shouldn't have touched it. Second one would be Jim Marshall. He ran the wrong way. Minnesota Vikings, they knocked the ball out of this guy's hands, out of a 49er, and Jim Marshall scoops it up. Thought he was doing something, and he ran down to the end zone for what he thought was going to be a touchdown. Ended up being a safety. He ran it the wrong way. Minnesota still won that game though, but they all laughed it off.
No help to Jim though.
Yeah. The famous one, Chris Webber, calling the timeout. It's unfortunate because I really like that dude. But he got the tech for calling the timeout when they didn't have one. North Carolina hits their free throws and they win the game and the championship. That's a heartbreaker. And I told you we're going to mention that brother's name again. But Leon Lett did it again. He recovered a fumble from the Buffalo Bills, and he ran to the end zone. Just as he's about to cross the line, he runs. He lets up, and Don Beebe knocks it out of his hands, blows the touchdown for him.
Safety.
Mm-hmm.
Safety.
And then this last one is a soccer player named Andres Escobar. He accidentally deflected the ball into his own net and Colombia. And Colombia, they were upset with him, death threats and everything like that. Well, someone carried it out. A bodyguard for the mafia or the,
cartels,
whatever you want to, the cartel. There you go. He was a bodyguard for this member of the cartel, and the bodyguard killed him. He only served 11 years, but that was dreadful. And sorry about that blunder that he made, but it cost him his life. That's
okay.
Mine.
I'm next, and you guys picked all of mine. So that's
why you like to go first, bro. I know.
That's yeah, because I knew y'all was gonna get all of mine. I had Seattle Seahawks, with the Patriots. I had number 4. I had Andres Escobar. I had Chris Webber at number 3. I had Leon Lett number 2, and Fred Brown at number 1.
Great minds, bro. Great minds think alike. That's it.
Yes, they do. Because sometimes, honestly, sometimes the things are so egregious and the blunders are so bad, they stand out and they stick out. And I couldn't get past any of those. Like they were just so bad. Every single one of them was so bad. All right. This next one is kind of going to be fun because everybody was talking about what they want to do. I'm going to go last. I'm going to let Mo go first. Mo, you give me your best or worst music by any sports artist, athletes. You could be best, it could be worst, it could be a combination of all of them, whatever you want, how you want to do it. Give me yours.
Okay, I picked because I looked this up, right? I didn't want to pick songs that they sing because no athlete has made a legit song that was good. So any athlete that made a rap song, singing song, rock song, they go on this list automatically. But JD Martinez, he walks up to ABBA, Dancing Queen. I don't get it. That's the worst thing. You're gonna Dancing Queen in the middle of a Major League Baseball game. You are the Dancing Queen. Blake Bertin, he walks up to Ice Ice Baby. How white are you? Ice Ice Baby. Any athlete that been on The Masked Singer, Victor Oladipo, Antonio Brown, and there's a bunch of them. If they go on, because you don't have to sing to go on The Masked Singer. You don't got to be a good singer. So they went on The Masked Singer. And the one song, and Frank, you're going to be surprised by this, that I hate the most is that damn New York Knicks song, because I'm a Knicks fan. They couldn't get a better song than Go New York, Go New York, Go. It sucks. Sorry. Change the song, New York.
My man Spank Hayes is in the building. Spank, what's happening, bro? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. I didn't even know it was 5 o'clock. It was crazy.
It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna come to you in a second, bro.
Okay.
My man, filmmaker Jason Hayes, give me your best or worst music by a sports athlete.
Well, I'm gonna try to give you some of all of it. I want some best and I want some worst. Because they're not a monolith. Some of them got some talent. A lot of them don't have any. So starting out with they ain't got any. Let's go with Carl Lewis singing the national anthem.
I knew you was going to do that. I knew that was on your list.
We got to revisit it. Listen, it is worth mentioning almost weekly how terrible that was to discourage anybody else from ever doing that.
What do you say, Jay? What do you say?
No, Carl Lewis sang the national anthem at a New Jersey Nets game. And bro, I mean, he couldn't hold a tune in the bucket, and he forgot the words.
He forgot the words. He said, "Uh oh," and he said,
"No, I'm gonna make up for it. No, you're not, Carl. You are not gonna make up for that. It's impossible, right?"
I remember that was atrocious.
It was another, So now Shaq had a legitimate album. Shaq made, I think, 4 or 5 studio albums. I mean, he went platinum. So you got to throw him in there, you know what I'm saying, as a legitimate musical artist. Kobe's album went triple trash juice.
Hey, man, don't be talking about Kobe, man.
Triple trash juice.
It went triple wood.
That thing was terrible, bro. And then Super Bowl Shuffle was awful.
Yes. Yes, it was. That's your list?
No, one more. The number 1 spot for me, Diamond Rolex with gators on my feet.
Oh my
I got 2 pair for every day of the week. Must be the money. Prime time, baby.
Yeah. I hate going last.
Must be the money.
I hate going last. Kevin, we'll come to you in a second. Spank, give me yours. Give me your best or worst by a music athlete. And give me your 5 best or worst, songs by athletes.
I'm gonna be honest, man. What's saying? Allen Iverson album was so weak that shit didn't even come out. That's how whack his shit was. I want to go with. I'm gonna take a page out of my man book, and I'm gonna go with Roseanne Barr singing the national anthem.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was horrible. I was horrible. I sung the national anthem one time at a Detroit Tigers game, and I mimicked her, and they never asked me back.
When they never asked her back, they didn't tip you off.
No, they'll pay you for that. They'll pay you for that.
Mm-mm.
That's like community. Like when you throw the first pitch or you sing that national anthem. Well, maybe for stars they get paid, but
Free admission.
I'm just, they didn't pay me. I'm gonna say must be the money because it's just a horrible. I remember the first time I heard that song. My boy was rolling a 51, and I was like, "What are you rolling?" And I said, "What are you listening to?" He was like, "Oh, that's Deion Sanders." I said, "No wonder you trying to get high, nigga. Turn that shit off." Like, what are you doing? It was just a horrible experience. That's 3. I'm gonna go with what's my man's name? Dope Fighter, but he had a hell of a terrible song. Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Horrible song. Horrible. That's 4. I'm gonna go with give me one more, man. Give me one more. I'm gonna say one that was good. I would probably say the best one was when Marvin Gaye sung the national anthem. Because he put his own flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty nice. I know it pissed off all the white people, but black people loved it.
Well, I'll let you slide with that one, Spank. Even though he wasn't an athlete, I'm gonna let you slide with that one.
Okay, he wasn't an athlete. So let me scratch that, and let me say what I really wanted to say. Shaquille O'Neal movies and albums. He had the Shaq toe. See, only real Laker fans remember the Shaq toe when he couldn't run back to the other. He couldn't defend nobody because his toes was hurt.
Yeah, that's the excuse he gave. That's definitely the excuse he gave, Spank.
And that's what got him X'd out of the Lakers. See, people think it was Kobe. It was really that Shaq toe.
I give you that list.
But I love Shaq. I love Shaquille O'Neal as a person, but I wouldn't pay him for a feature. I'll put it that way.
I give you that list. Spanky Hayes gave us his list. Kev Lane, give me your list. Best or worst musical sports artists.
All right. I'm gonna start with one of the worst. Kobe. Sorry, Spank. But Kobe did a selection with Tyra Banks.
Oh, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop killing.
I'm sorry. That was terrible. Spank.
It is what it is, man.
It was in French, man. It was in French. All right, I'm sorry.
It was still terrible. They stole mine. Jace, I hate going after you, dude. But the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl shuffle, and Carl Lewis singing the national anthem. You got me on those. But second spot would be Damian Lillard. He did a joint with Lil Wayne.
Did you like it?
No.
Didn't like it. Okay.
No, absolutely. He can spit, but the track was whack. But my number one spot, everybody's talking about him in a negative way, kind of, sort of. Maybe he deserves it. But Shaq did a joint with the Fushnikins. What's up, Doc? That's a banger. It's a banger. So that's it for me.
Okay, see, I hate going last because y'all took mine again. So okay, I'm not happy about that. But I'm gonna give you my list. And all of them ain't gonna be all of y'all ain't got them all. So I got Deion Sanders, the R&B joint, Must Be the Money. Kobe Bryant, everything he did was bad. I didn't pick out one song. I just didn't like nothing he did. Chicago Bears, the shuffle song, that was trash. And they ran it all that whole year, and they ran it even more so after the Super Bowl. So Shaquille O'Neal, I ain't like nothing he did. Fushnikins was okay to me, but nah. But what I did like is my number one song I did like was Wayman Tisdale's album, that jazz album he did. So
yeah.
I like Wayman Tisdale.
You got one on your own.
Yeah, I got one. And
that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Wayman Tisdale was so dope. When I met him and I went to see him and everything, I kind of forgot he was an NBA player until he stood up. I remember me and my wife went to see him. Then he stood up. I was like, "That's right, you was in the NBA." Because I was about to say to him, man, you should be playing in the league. But then I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's Wayman Tisdale. He did play in the league. So there it is. All right. So Mo, the next one, man, is gonna be kind of crazy. So best possible celebrity fights matches. Mo, now I know y'all ain't gonna get mine. Y'all ain't gonna get mine. Go ahead, man. Let me see.
Now, before I do this, Frank, because being a comedian, you need to know that going last is a privilege in our field. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I'm not.
You need to know that. You sit up there whining and complaining, and we have professional comedians allowing you to headline each segment. You want to be the opener, you can be the opener. You don't get as much, and you don't get treated as well. So now you need to understand this is a privilege to go last, man.
Name on the marquee if you go last.
Again.
Hey, but listen, but just like going last, brother, the opening acts say your jokes.
That's why you're the closer. You know how to take it, flip it, and make it even better because you're the closer. But let me get to my celebrity fights. In their prime, I would like to see Saquon Barkley versus Jim Brown. I think that would be one hell of a fight right there. RuPaul versus Tyler Perry. In their characters, Medea versus RuPaul. Shaquille O'Neal versus Artist Gilmore. I think that would be a great rumble right there. Those two big fellas just fighting it out. I got 50 Cent versus Suge Knight. I'd like to see that. That'd be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And my last one would be Martha Stewart versus Lil' Kim. Don't sleep on Martha Stewart.
She gangster with it.
Okay, I see how you came with yours. Spank, since you a comic, I'm gonna let you go next. I'm gonna let you jump the line because you a comedian. So go ahead, bro. Give me your list. Your best.
Okay, my first one would be me versus Kevin Hart. I think I'll knock his block off. I know I would. I would have loved to see Tupac and Biggie just fight it out. Then they probably would still be alive.
Not with Diddy.
No baby oil. I don't want to see Diddy. Shouldn't want to touch another soul. I don't care who it is. I would like to see Meek Mills and RuPaul fight in the drag fight.
He busted out laughing. He couldn't even finish it.
Broadcasting from the other side of America.
Hey, I love doing this show, by the way, man. I get to laugh just for no reason. But
oh snap!
Here's one. Let's go. I would love to see Gilly and Lil Wayne fight.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that. And then who I'm gonna love, my last one, who I'm gonna love to see fight is Lamont Roach is about to beat the shit out of Tank Davis, and I'm gonna love to see that.
Okay, I like your list, Spank. I like your list because it was funny. I like that list. Filmmaker Jason Hayes in the building. Jay, give me your list, bro.
Let's go. One I want to see right now is Jay-Z versus Kanye, since Kanye called his kids retarded.
Oh, good one.
Whoa.
I want to see that one.
That's a good one.
They on the spectrum. If they not retarded, they are on the spectrum. Let's go.
Come on, Spank.
Let's go there. All right, I'm sorry.
I want to see Monique versus Medea for all the Tyler Perry bashing she's doing. I want to see that square up.
I wrote that down. I took it off because I knew somebody was going to do that. Go ahead. Keep going. I love it.
I want to see Stephen A versus LeBron for at least 3 rounds on the books. But I saw Stephen A throwing them punches, so I'm pretty sure the other 2 rounds won't be needed. Yo, Stephen A can get his head. Yeah, he can get his ass tore up in that thing, boy.
Yeah.
Number 4. I mean, number 2 for me. I want to see Donald Trump versus Dr. Umar. I want to see that one. I think I can sell tickets for that.
I think you could too.
And I want all white women around the stage, they extra motivate Dr. Umar, to stay focused. Or not.
He would.
In the number one spot, I want to see Beyonce versus Rihanna. It's no real reason. I just want to see them wrestle and see what they look like.
And the perversion comes out, y'all. The perversion comes out.
Yeah, that was kind of perverted. That was a little perverted, but that's
perverted, Jay.
I want to see them wrestle, Spank. That's all.
I get where you was going.
I get where you going.
Listen, perverted good night. I'm with him. I like to see Rihanna and Beyonce too. I'm mad he didn't come up with that one.
And quiet as kept, Jay. I'm gonna throw this out there. You could sell $100 a ticket for that one.
$1,000
and get it.
5,000.
And get it. Pay for
Word up
and get it. Kev, give me your 5. Give me your 5. Let me see where you at.
Well, I struggled on this one because even though there's a lot of good matchups out there, everybody would just get pummeled by the ones that I was picking on the top. But I'm gonna go with Shaq. I'd like to see him fight Will Chamberlain because back in the day, Will Chamberlain, they said that he was picking up Volkswagens with one hand, and I just think to see him and Shaq going at it like in their prime would have been a nice little battle.
But which Shaq we talking about, Kev? Fat Shaq or the fit Shaq?
You know what? It don't matter because right now, as he's big and kind of chubby, he still talks a lot of stuff. So I would still want to see somebody how they match up with him and if they can knock his block off.
Right.
I'd like to see AI fight with Tyronn Lue because I know Tyronn Lue is mad at that little step over.
Yeah, post step over fight.
Yeah, that come out.
Post step over fight. Yeah.
Yeah. I got Michael Jordan fighting against Vernon Maxwell, Mad Max.
Taking Vern in that.
Yeah, I'm taking Vernon too.
That is a crazy dude, so I just think that would be a good matchup.
Vern fights for real. Vern ain't no NBA fighter.
Yeah, he's a street fighter. Keep going, Kev.
Do that.
Keep going.
And Diddy fighting with 50 Cent.
Okay.
I like to see that because Diddy thinks that he, can just take everybody. So 50 Cent, that's a big dude, but we don't know what he really got.
And
He's trying to take everybody. That's his problem.
You don't know what weight you're going to get 50 either, because I seen 50 4 or 5 times in LA, and sometimes he was really skinny, and sometimes he was really big. So you don't know which 50 you're going to get either. So
Hey, but the catch is they have to fight in Floyd Mayweather's closet.
You stupid, Spank. You stupid.
That's the catch to that fight.
Kev, you know what your list?
The last one, and he just mentioned his name. I'd like to see Tank Davis fight Floyd Mayweather. I know that they're different classes, but they both talk so much junk. I just like to see them both go at it.
All right, so now it's my turn, and I'm gonna preface this before I say my turn by saying this: I couldn't think of nothing, so I'm just I couldn't think of nothing. So my first one, number 5, was Bugs Bunny versus Roger Rabbit. They already tell you where we're going. I couldn't think of nothing. I was like, yeah, I couldn't think of nothing. My next one was Kendrick Perkins versus Draymond Green. I was like, I'd like to see that one. I'd like to see that.
Wow.
Then I was like, since the news is going on this week about Sherry Shepherd, I was like, Sherry Shepherd versus Nia Long, all that. Y'all talking all that trash. You might as well just go ahead and let it, go ahead.
Wrestling, though. Wrestling.
Yeah, that one. For $150.
Sherry Shepherd is built like Ram Man. Remember Ram Man from He-Man? You might not want to mess with Sherry Shepherd. She get down low and then pop up on you. That's the Jack in the Box.
Damn.
Wow. Yo.
I like Jack in the Box.
Man, stop. I know Sherry. Hold on. Time out.
He said, I know Sherry. He goes,
No, Sherry the homie. That's the homie, but
look, the next fight is Sherry Shepherd versus Frank Holder.
Right. That was a good one.
Her calves look strong, though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And then I got Will Smith versus Tony Rock, because Tony Rock's a boxer, and Chris ain't fighting back. So I got Will and Tony. And that'd be pretty interesting. That'd be an Ali versus a real guy who really boxes. See how that happens. And my number one would be Stephen A. Smith versus Bronny James. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Bronny James getting in, and he'd be like, "Yeah, you talking all that trash about me, and no holds barred. Bam, let's knock it out." So that's
100% chance Stephen A. get his ass whooped. 100% chance. I saw that boy throwing the punches, man.
Right, 4 points and 1 rebound in that fight.
All right, Spank, you crazy. All right, so now it's time for the next one is the luckiest plays in sports history. The luckiest, like the stuff that you saw. And again, I'm not going to go first. I'm going to go last. I'm going to let Mo go first. It's the luckiest plays you saw. You sitting there like, yeah, that was 100% luck and ain't going to never happen again. And it probably hasn't happened again since. So, Mo, you go first.
All right. I got in no specific order. Deshaun Jackson returned on the New York Giants in the football game, the Eagles versus the Giants. Last play of the game, and he just ran it back on us. I'm still hurting over that one.
That wasn't luck. That was giant stupidity.
Yeah, that wasn't luck. But keep on.
Kicking it to him.
Keep on.
I didn't ask y'all opinions. All right. all opinions need to be put in the opinion box down the street and around the corner on another sports talk show.
Go ahead.
1992. Christian Laettner versus Kentucky. You can't tell me that wasn't luck with Christian Laettner. I can't stand Christian Laettner. It was luck, man. That was luck. It was luck. It was luck.
That was luck, but not that much luck. But keep going.
Super Bowl 25. The New York Giants versus the Buffalo Bills when the kick went wide right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was living in DC and I had about 600-700 on the game and I was sitting there about to pay everybody and it happened. That was luck. And y'all might kill me for this one. We said it the other day. I don't care. Franco Harris was lucky as heck. If you look at that play, the ball touched the ground. He lucky they didn't have instant replay back then. That's what really happened. It wasn't no immaculate reception. He scooped it up off the ground and kept going. Franco Harris was lucky as hell.
And that is the definition of this, basically, of this segment, the luckiest plays in sport, because that was a lucky play. Immaculate reception it is. Spanky Hayes, comedian, give me your luckiest plays in sports history. Talk to me. Tell me what, give me your 5 ones that come off the top of your dome.
Okay, so I don't know if I can pull 5 out of this, but I will say when the one year, it was probably about 10 years ago, I don't know, but the Lions were beating Green Bay, and then I don't know if that was Aaron Rodgers or the one before that. What was the guy that was before Aaron Rodgers?
Brett Favre.
That's who it was. Brett Favre threw a Hail Mary with no minutes on the clock, and they won the game. That was the luckiest shit I ever seen.
That was Aaron Rodgers. That was Aaron Rodgers in the end zone on Hail Mary. That was Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my God. That was
yeah, I remember that.
Stupid.
Against Detroit.
What happened to Spank?
No, I don't know.
Can't hear you, Spank.
Spank can't hear. Spank's still talking. We can't hear you. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to Spank. Jay, give me yours, bro.
Okay, for me, the Music City Miracle was one of the luckiest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yes,
okay, so
hold on, Spank.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was getting a call. Why?
Jason, can you let Spank go?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Spank.
Everybody call you when they see you on live. They still call you, like.
Yeah. And it's happening again. It's happening again.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay,
Kobe.
I guess he dropped the phone this time.
They called him back.
They called him back.
They called him Jay. You go, Jay.
You got an emergency.
Yeah, I said, for me, Music City Miracle, luckiest thing one of the luckiest things I've ever seen in my life. It was pure luck. I don't care how much you say it's strategy. A lot of things had to just happen, right?
Spank, hold on, Spank. Jay's going. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay.
Any touchdown that Tim Tebow ever threw, Was luck.
Wow.
All of them.
But he prayed.
All of them. Any touchdown you ever threw was luck.
But he had Jesus.
I think Jesus made some of that for him, though, Spank. You know what I'm saying?
He had Jesus, man.
Jesus.
It was luck. It was luck every single time Michael Jordan made contact with a baseball.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Luck.
That was true. That's true.
And my last one, I'm gonna go with the craziest play I've probably ever seen in sports. Was Green Bay Packers against the Minnesota Vikings. The DB is guarding Antonio Freeman. He has the interception. Freeman falls down. The DB, it goes through his hands. Freeman rolls over. It lands in Freeman's hands. The DB thinks it's incomplete. Freeman gets up and scores. Game over.
Yeah. I remember that.
I remember that. Good.
That. Wow.
That's a good list. I like your list. All right, Spank, finish your list.
Okay, so I was saying that Kobe Bryant was losing by 2 points. It was like 8 seconds to go against Phoenix. I was at that game. That's why I remember it so well. And he hit a 3. And what was crazy was a lot of people wasn't hitting threes at that time. A lot of people wasn't even shooting threes at that time. So, and I remember they had it debated, was it a 2 or a 3? And then they said it was a 3. That was pretty lucky. I'm going to say anytime Chicago Bears win is luck.
That's about right.
They are the most unluckiest team in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm going to say who else was luck? I'm going to say it was lucky for Sugar Ray Leonard to beat Tommy Hearns. Although Tommy Hearns beat him to oblivion, he still won.
Mm-hmm.
I never got that. I think that's 4. The luckiest play ever. That would have to be when San Francisco came back and beat the Lions last year. The Lions was up by 17. They was winning so much, I went to sleep knowing that I was about to go cash this ticket. And when I woke up, everybody screaming around me, pointing at me, talking about take that jersey off because the Lions lost again. Another one bite the dust.
I ain't mad at your list, though. I ain't mad at your list. Kev, give me yours.
All right. I'm gonna go with college basketball. First one, Washington versus Connecticut. Connecticut is down 74-73 with less than 5 seconds to go. They came down to score. They kept tapping it up, and after like 3 attempts, misses. Richard Hamilton gets the ball, does a little 6-footer, goes in, ends the game because time ran out just as the bucket went in, the last one. That was kind of lucky. Russell Westbrook, when he was on OKC, he's playing against Golden State, and he goes for a dunk. He dunks it, he bangs it on everybody, but the ball bounces up, doesn't go in. I mean, when he dunks it, doesn't go in, but it bounces up and then comes back down through the hoop for the score. Thought that was lucky. Next one would be Manu Ginobili. He tried to throw an alley-oop to LaMarcus Aldridge. And instead of LaMarcus Aldridge getting it and putting it in, it just went in for a 3-pointer. Thought that was kind of and the Yankees versus Houston. The pitcher, I forget his name right now. He was the one that they signed that was throwing 100 miles an hour. The big brother, I think he was from Venezuela or Panama or something like that. But he was throwing 100-mile heat. And he threw a wild pitch that went off the backstop, bounced back to the catcher. The catcher guns the dude out at third base running in for, he was about to score, or not score, but he was about to take third, and he got called out. Lucky bounce. And then my last one was the Immaculate Conception. Sorry. Someone stole that one.
Yeah, somebody did that. All right, let me give you mine real fast.
Yeah, the Bible.
Yeah. Mine's is kind of simple. Washington QB Jaden Daniels, that Hail Mary he threw last year, that's my number 5. Obviously, you know that touchdown. Number 4 is another Hail Mary, Doug Flutie. I said that before last week. The Doug Flutie Hail Mary, you know, and again, those two throws both won games for them, so it's very lucky. My number 3, Game 5 NBA Finals. Robert Horry hits that shot with 8 seconds going in some change for the San Antonio Spurs NBA Finals. That's my number 2. Number 1 is the Kawhi Leonard shot, Game 7, Toronto Raptors versus Philadelphia 76ers. The ball goes bing, 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 and falls through the hoop. Game 7, too. Last second shot. That's very lucky. Should have went to overtime. And number 1 is, I don't even want to really say it, but because I'm in a sports show and I'm a host of the show and I can't stand Mo. Ooh, I said all that. Did that rhyme? I'm a host of the show, and I can't stand Mo. That rhyme. David Tyree catch. Let me throw that out there. That's for number 1. Can't get off of that number 1. Mo, let's get ready to take this in to the worst GMs in sports. And you got to tell us who the GMs are and why they're the worst GMs in sports. Give us the reasons, Mo, and because there's a whole bunch. You got a whole bunch to choose from.
Yeah, but as soon as I say the first one and the team, I don't even got to say why. Isaiah Thomas, when he was the GM of the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
I don't have to say why. I think all of mine are like that. All of mine are like that. For real. Billy Bean, GM of the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
Small ball. They even made a movie about him losing because he always says, if you don't win the last game of the year, then you lost. He has yet to win the last game of the year. Elgin Baylor with the Clippers. The Clippers were so bad back then. A friend of mine went to the game. They said you can sit wherever you want to sit. You know what I'm saying? They even put in the game. He had 9 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists. Danny had a triple double. Got mad. They got mad at him because he couldn't come back the next night when they were playing the Lakers. Matt Millen of the Detroit Lions. Before the Lions became what they were now. Remember all them wide receivers they drafted, all the draft picks that he had that he screwed up? Detroit suffered that, man. I mean, they suffered that. And I'm going to pick the one that everybody's going to pick. I'm just glad I'm the opening act. Jerry Jones, baby. He's the headliner. He's the GM, the owner, then the head coach, quarterback, everything. He is the worst. They ain't going to never be right until he dies, sell the team.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, Spank, give me your GM list. Give me your GMs of your worst GMs, any sport, any team.
I'm gonna go with what my man just said, Dallas Cowboys, because I like to call them the cow pussies. I never liked them. I don't care who play for the Cowboys. They suck.
I want to use keep
I'm gonna go with Detroit Lions GM because these niggas ain't never won. They got the whole city of Detroit wearing Lion jerseys and Lion shit, and these niggas don't even be winning. Lions, I don't know about y'all, man. I don't know. I love the Lions, but I want to beat up the GM. That's who I want to fight. That's the fight. Me against the GM for the Detroit Lions.
Okay, keep going.
Right.
Keep going. You got some more?
I'm gonna say the GM, whoever hired LeBron James to the Lakers, is the worst guy ever. Ever. And because of that, we got Bronny. So that was a terrible move on two ways. And I want to say, whoever the GM is at the Warriors for trading Thompson, man, horrible decision. That was a horrible decision.
For trading who? You went in and out.
All right. I would have just put him on the bench, man. I wouldn't have traded him.
Who you say stuck because you're stuck?
Ain't you doing something? Well, let me do something. I got it.
Okay, so he doing a drug transaction while we doing.
Yeah.
They're buying weed. You know what I mean?
He buys some weed.
Yeah, no. I sell it. Crack too. I'm bringing it back. Anyway,
You stuck. You
I'm
gotta
gonna say
go
the
back
last
up.
one will
gotta
gotta
go
be the Detroit Pistons because they only win like every 20 years. So they must got the same GM as the Lions.
Okay, that's your list. Jay, give me your
So
list.
that's what it is.
Yeah, for me, it's easy. Every GM the Raiders have had.
For all five of your slots, because they had about 5.
No, I mean, like every GM that they've had, dude, they think about all the first round draft picks they've taken who've either eaten themselves out of the league, been drug addicts, or killed people. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like it's crazy, you know, their track record. Another one for me is Daryl Morey.
Mhm.
Daryl Morey has been overpaying, guaranteeing contracts to mediocre dudes his entire career. And according to Harden, he's a liar too. So it all meshes. And what list can you have about terrible GMs and not have Michael Jeffrey Jordan on that thing, man?
Yeah, that's true. That's
You know what I'm saying? Like this is a dude who took Michael Kidd Gilchrist, number 2 overall in a draft that had Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard, and Draymond Green in it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Frank, because I got eyes, man. I can't pretend that I didn't see how terrible Bill Belichick was as a GM.
And this is why I hate going last. Keep going. You know what your list? You know what your list? You done?
I'll stop right there.
Okay. Kev, give me your list.
All right. Some of these might not need explanation, but Scott Layden for the New York Knicks.
Jesus. Why you have to bring that one up? Jesus.
Mo.
I could get all 5 on the Knicks.
Yeah, you better. Or the Raiders. Keep going.
Enough said. Mike Milbury, former player, and I think he used to play for the Bruins, but he was the New York Islanders GM. He turned into he was a coach, and then he turned to be the GM because they were just so terrible and shorthanded. He was terrible. Someone I think already said it, but Matt Millen for the Detroit Lions. Sorry I'm sorry for what's his name that he ain't here, or Howie. Sam Hinkie.
Hey, I suffer that too, my brother.
I'm sorry, Spang, but it's true. It's true. Sam Hinkie. He was the one that started all that mess with trust the process. That process ain't come to fruition yet.
Philadelphia 76ers. Keep
yes,
on.
sir. And the last one is Mike Lombardi for the Cleveland Browns. And I think that's enough said because Cleveland ain't done anything since
Jim Brown.
Since Jim Brown.
Okay, so I'm looking at y'all's list. I'm listening to y'all's list, and I think y'all got almost all of mine again. So all y'all suck. Just want you to know. 5 for me, Bill Belichick, New England Patriots. 4 for me, Kevin McHale at Minnesota Timberwolves. He had Kevin Garnett, and he literally fumbled the bag that entire time while he had KG. You know what I mean?
And Stephon Marbury.
Yeah, he had Stephon Marbury there for a minute, but wasn't able to hold on to Stephon Marbury, but he had KG, ended up having to let him go. So obviously that. Wes Unseld for the Washington Wizards. He had like a good 15, 20 years. And it's still a trash place to go. It's still like the black hole if you go down there. It's so bad, it's hard for them to get around to that.
Wes was there so long, they were the Bullets when he started.
That's true. They were the Bullets because he played there. They changed the name. The name change still didn't help him out, and they still horrible. They still horrible. Matt Millen. I mean, you can't have a list without having Matt Millen.
You gotta have him.
You can't have that, and you can't have the list without having Scott Layden. Scott Layden, I think I looked at my research. Scott Layden is probably the number one GM who's had the most worst back-ended contracts and the worst draft picks ever in any sport, in any franchise in the history of sports. So I got to throw him out there. He even beat Isaiah Thomas. He beat out Matt Millen. He'd be like, and I went to a site that calculated everything, and that right there, y'all, is a feat all by itself to have the worst contracts of all time. And what team is he representing? I just want to make sure I got Mo up in there so Mo can see, but we can see Mo. Can we see you, Mo? Oh, okay. Just make sure because you like to rub in the subject.
But Frank, Steve Phillips said, hold my beer, for the worst contracts. Because understand how terrible he was for the Mets. Yeah. Steve Phillips is the reason why they still paying Bobby Bonilla for 10 more years.
Again, you can't dispute that stuff. It's so bad. You can't dispute it because some of these guys have had some of the worst contracts, but it's really hard for some people to be beat out. You know what I mean? Because I'm up there looking at who's going to be worse than that and who's going to be worse than that. But ultimately, I think Scott Layden, Matt Millen, and Bill Belichick have done some of the worst contracts, and worst all time. Like you know what I mean? Drafting, everything. I don't think it'd be hard to pick these dudes out. Bill Belichick is, while he was doing the worst contracts, he was winning. So you all say this at home, while he was winning, he thought at the time he was doing some great contracts. And I'm gonna just throw this out there: because you're winning does not mean that you're still the best GM. You know what I mean? Does not mean that at all. So because Bill Belichick is also the same dude who signed Albert Hainsworth to a trash contract. I mean, you go down the list of guys who he got, to get in why we had Tom Brady, and he still did some of the worst. I don't know what happened to Spank. Spank left. Spank okay. Spank gone.
And Belichick couldn't evaluate a wide receiver if Jerry Rice stood in front of him. You know what I'm saying?
He still can't. He still can't. He still can't. All right. So since we have a little bit of time, I want to throw up one more hot topic out there. Let me pick up. Let's see. Do you guys want to do real fast the craziest unsportsmanlike acts that you caught off the dome? Crazy.
Everybody got something off the dome.
Off the dome. Mo, you got something off the dome? The craziest unsportsmanlike act. We got enough time for that.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Keep going. Go ahead. What's your craziest unsportsmanlike act off the dome?
Off the dome, craziest unsportsmanlike act. Shaquille O'Neal smacked what's his name? He was the center for Utah. Coming out the tunnel.
Big Golden.
Yeah, smacked him. Pow! Right in the grill. Michael Jordan walking off the court when they lost to Detroit that time. They didn't shake hands. They were pissed off because they lost. Unsportsmanlike. What else can I say?
No, you gave me enough. You gave me enough. For giving everybody enough time. Jay, give me yours.
Most unsportsmanlike thing. Listen, it's two things that I don't play with. I don't play with spit. Romanowski spitting in people's faces.
Yeah.
And the second thing, I don't play with, we're getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman. That's as filthy as you can be. Kick somebody in the balls, man.
You stole my dick.
Yeah.
I ain't hanging out with you no more, man. I ain't hanging out with you.
Go ahead,
Kevin. With you, Jay.
Come on, Jay. Jay, give me another one, Kev. Give me another one.
Off the top of my dome. Come back to me. I'm sorry.
All right. Mine's is Draymond Green stomping on Sabonis. You know what I mean? Like that. Like he's stomping on his foot. And then I even had one with the Albert Hainsworth, trying to stomp the running back in the eye with his cleats on. You know what I mean? Like that was horrible. Or you could even throw. Remember the Pittsburgh versus Cleveland Browns game? I forgot which Pittsburgh player. What was it? Miles? I think it was Miles. He took the helmet off his head and he went and tried to assault the dude with his helmet. You know, and he was bashing him in the head.
Oh yeah, Myles Garrett. Yeah, with the quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. It was the quarterback. He was trying to bash him in the head. He was lucky. Honestly, he was lucky he didn't get charged with assault because at that time people were literally considering. I remember we were doing box seats early at the time, and we were at the time during that week they were literally considering charging him with assault because it got so bad, and it was at the end of the game. The game regulation had ended, and he was still acting out. So he was lucky.
Mason Rudolph. Yeah,
that's right. Mason. Thank you, Jay. So Kevin, when we come back to you, you got one?
The one that's sticking in my head, the one that just popped in there real quick, and I was like, "Oh, I got one." And Jay stole it. Was when Dennis Rodman kicked the cameraman in the nuts. That was crazy.
There's so many. You got Miles in the Palace. This is just so many. Yeah. There's so many. That's why I said that only. I try to give y'all alley oop, man. I tried to give y'all alley oop. Kev fumbled the alley oop. You saw that, right? He fumbled the alley oop.
He's not clutch, baby.
Yeah. You ain't getting the rock. So that just tells me 5 seconds left to go. I ain't passing him the rock. Just can't do it. Can't do it. You can't
He like Weber. He gonna call a timeout. We ain't got none.
Wow.
Damn, they giving you oh man, they giving it to you, dog.
Right. I'm just saying that was that's an easy one. Like you can't, Kev, you can't name one unsportsmanlike conduct in all the years you watched.
You all took them all.
Kev, there's a billion of them. There's a billion.
I know, and I'm sorry.
Okay,
Blew the
all right,
layup. Sorry.
All right, that's okay. It was only game 7. That's all.
Mark Andrews.
You could have said Billy Martin and Reggie Jackson. That would have been a good one.
Yeah, you can say a whole bunch. Just a whole bunch. Anyway, it's time to roll up and get ready to wrap up.
Pedro bulldogged, the dude for the Yankees, bro. Ah, that was terrible. Zimmerman.
Yeah, that's unsportsmanlike. That by itself.
Oh
That was
yeah, that's right. Pedro Martinez slammed Don Zimmerman down.
Yeah.
He bulldogged him, man. Ran the whole man into the dirt.
Looks like he got one. I got one.
Then. I got one. But I like this dude. But when what's his name? He was playing for Minnesota, and he scored the touchdown, and he went by the end zone pole and played like he was pulling his pants.
Or Randy Moss.
Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Randy Moss.
That was unsportsmanlike. I give you that. That's Randy Moss.
All right.
All right, y'all.
That one?
Yeah.
That was in bounds, Kev. That was in bounds to me, though.
Y'all are rough, man. You all stunned me.
The name of the show is called Box Seats. It's on Humor Mill channel. We're gonna be back on tomorrow. A lot of comics are trying to chime in tomorrow, so we'll see who actually shows up. We'll see. We'll see what the lineup look like. Mo, tell everybody out there how they can follow you. Comedian Maurice Smith.
Mo_comic. Maurice Smith. I'm out there doing my thing. Check me out, people.
There it is. My man, filmmaker Jason Hayes. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Right here at JD Hayes, Black Man Site Fan Base.
Jay always got him.
Power to the people.
Jay be getting the boy.
It's a MAGA world out here, baby. Top of the wagons.
Jay does not miss a moment. That's what I like about him. He does not miss a moment. Kev, tell everybody out there how to follow you.
Right here on Humor Mill Box Seats, baby.
Love that about Jay. All right, y'all. Thank you. The name of the show is called Box Seats. I got to get a roll up out of here myself. Got a screening I got to catch. Called Working Man. I don't even interested in even really want to go see that, but that's a whole other thing. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5 o'clock, man. Thank y'all for watching.
All right, peace.
Peace.